welcome to this session. This is Professor Farhat, in which we would look at the filing due dates for entities. Now, for every filing due date, I am going to try to explain some logic behind it. Remember, those are due dates. I'm not sure how much logic I can provide, but at least when you have a base, I will work from that base. And that base will be for me the sole proprietorship. Means one person, an individual. And I hope we know for the individual, generally speaking, we talked about this in the fixed year, not in the fixed year, in the tax year, and we say Hello and welcome to this session. This is Professor Farhat, in which we would look at the filing due date for entities. I will start by looking at the sole proprietorship filing due date, and I hope we can establish a base. And once we establish this base, I believe the following discussion will be easier to understand. I hope we all know that the filing due date for a sole proprietorship, an individual who's filing 1040, is April the 15th. April the 15th. If this individual asks for an extension, six month extension, it will be the due date is 10/15. Remember, you can ask for an extension to file but not to pay. You always have to pay. And here we are discussing individual return. So everything we would look at here is the assumption is what? The assumption it's a calendar year unless you are told otherwise. Okay. So I'm going to move from sole proprietorship, which is an individual, to C corporation. Now, why did I move from sole proprietorship to C corporation? Because the C corporation is a separate entity. C corporation is the traditional or the standard corporate. The rule for the C corporation is, since it's its own entity, it's going to be just like an individual, which is April 15th. Now, here's how I would like to look at it. I would like to look at it 3.5 months after year end. So you have 3.5 months after year end. Another way they look at it is the 15th of the 4th month. I like to say from year end, count 3.5 months, a quarter and 15 days. And the same thing if you want to file an extension, you have till October the 15th. So notice C corporation and individual, basically, as long as the C corporation has a calendar year end, it's the same due date. Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, farhatlectures.com. You are here because you are serious about mastering taxation. Whether you are taking a tax course, studying for the CPA exam, or enrolled agent, tax feels overwhelming, not because it's impossible, but because it's dense, detailed, and often taught at a pace that doesn't match the way you learn. The rules can feel disconnected, and the logic isn't always explained clearly. At Farhat Lectures, we slow it down. We explain the why behind the rules, break concept into simple steps, and rebuild your understanding from the ground up without assuming any prior knowledge. When explanation matches your learning, everything changes. The confusion fades, the rules start to connect, and tax becomes manageable. If you are ready to understand tax with clarity and confidence, start your free trial at farhatlectures.com and let's build your tax foundation together. Now let's discuss the partnership. The partnership due date is March the 15th. The partnership is a flow-through entity. The partnership complete a 1065 informational return. Then what they do, they issue what's called K1 to their partners. The K1 goes to the individual, and the individual will input the K1 information into the 1040. So you cannot complete your 1040 by April the 15th unless you have the K1. What is the K1? The K1 will tell you how much income you're responsible for or deduction you have from the partnership, capital gains, deductions, so on and so forth. If you don't know what K1 is, you will get to know what K1 is. But that's what the K1 is. Therefore, the partnership will have to prepare the K1 a month before to send this information to the taxpayer so the taxpayer can complete their taxes by April the 15th. And they have extended due date till September the 15th. I will say the same thing about S corporation. S corporation is a flow-through entity. As a result, the due date is March the 15th, which is
2.5 month, or the 15th of the third month for those type of entities. Now, I'm going to go back to C corporation, and I'm going to change something here. I'm going to say C corporation, year end June 30th. There's a special date as a year end June 30th for C corporation. Remember, C corporation, we said everything else is equal. They are a separate entity, and the due date is like the individual. If it's June 30th, it's due, there's the third month rule. It means the due date is September the 15th. So it means it has 2.5 months. Then they have 7 months to file for an extension. This is a major exam trap, or at least it used to be. I have to tell you, starting 2026, they changed the rule to 4 months. In other words, this special rule now is, now you have till, if it's June, you have July, August, September, 3.5, October the 15th. Therefore, the due date is October the 15th. Now I'm preparing this return. I'm preparing this recording sometime the end of the first quarter of 2026. It means the new rules apply. So they used to have this special thing where June 30th year end for corporation was due, the 15th of the third month. That's no longer the case. Now it's just like any other corporation, the 15th of the fourth month, which is October the 15th. Just want to let you know this. And the due date still April the 15th if you want to file for a due date, file for an extension. Tax-exempt organization, they file Form 990. They have till May 15th. Okay, why? I mean, there's no specific reason why, but I'm going to try to kind of tell you a story. Maybe it will help you remember. Because tax exempt don't pay their CPAs very well. Therefore, CPAs, they're busy completing the partnership first, the S corporation, then the individual. Then once they're done with their busy tax season, they will get to their 1040. And this is what we used to do in my CPA firm, because they have till May 15th. So they have 4.5 months from December 31st. So it's the 15th day of the 5th month, May 15th. And if they want to file for an extension, they have till November the 15th. Not an income tax return. This is an informational return. Nevertheless, you need to know the due date. The trust form 1041. Trust, just like a corporation, just C corporation, just like individual, it's its own tax entity. And once you kind of its own tax entity, it means you have 3.5 months, or the 15th of the fourth month. It means April the 15th. Then just bear in mind the extended due date that you have to know, it's September 30th. Notice September 30th. It's just a bit odd. It is what it is. And a separate extension rule. That's perfectly fine. Okay? So those are the major due date. So this is what you need to know. Fiscal year logic, very important concept. But the concept doesn't change much. Let's assume Atlas is a manufacturing C corporation. What's the rule for C corporation? The rule is 3.5 months. The fourth month is January. So if your year end is September 30th, you have October, November, December, that's 3, and half of January, January 15th. Therefore, the due date is January 15th. And that's, just remember this. 3.5 months. That's the normal, unless you are a pass-through entity. And the reason they want you to get an earlier return, and if you understand the reason why you would remember this, because you want to get the K1 ready for the 1040 for the individuals. Let's take a look at this example. We have Helping Hands Foundation has a fiscal year ending March 31st. Helping Hand is a nonprofit. Guess what? They have 4.5 months. They have an extra month. So you count, and it's going to be from March, it's August the fourth month, plus 15. August will be the 5th month and 15 days. August 15th will be the due date. So for nonprofit, you have 4.5 months. Short year tax return, when do we have this? We talked about this when we talked about the tax year. It's when the entity is formed or where the entity is basically dissolute, liquidate, gone. When an entity does not operate a full year, you still apply the same rules. Count month from the end of the short tax year. For example, Blue Horizon LLC closes operation August 10th, year 3. Well, short year ends August 10th. Then we have to count 3.5 months, or on the 4th month after August. So we're looking at what? September, October, November, December. That's 3.5. December 15th is what we need to look at. 3.5 months from August. September, October. Keep in mind, if we have weekend and holiday rule and extension, if a due date falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or a legal holiday, the due date shifts to the next business day. Remember what I said about extension? When you are given an extension, it's an extension to file, not to pay. Very important. They give you time to file, not to pay. And we'll talk about extension later on. But this is an exam trap. Tax must still be paid by the original due date, otherwise you have penalties and interest. And don't worry, we'll have a separate recording for extension, penalties and interest, so on and so forth. Let's take a look at this multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. An S corporation uses a calendar tax year ending December 31st, year X1. The corporation did not request an extension. Great. What's the original due date for filing the income tax return? What's the original due date? Well, I hope you can eliminate C and D, because that's way you're giving them till September and October of year X2. That's too long. I would eliminate C and D. Now we're between March 15th and April 15th. If you don't read the question carefully, and in your mind we always assume April 15th is the due date, you might select April the 15th, but that's incorrect. Remember, S corporation is a pass-through entity, and a pass-through entity would follow 2.5 months after the year end, or the half of the 3rd month. So the due date is March the 15th. Now here's what I want to tell you about this. Remember this grid that we started with. It's something you need to be familiar with. And remember, C Corp June 30th, basically this rule is gone. Just make sure you know this. We talked about it in the recording. What should you do now? Whether you are an enrolled agent, CPA exam candidate, accounting student, should go to Farhat Lectures, look at additional MCQs, resources, AI resources, exercises, true, false, anything that's going to help you with your professional certification, with your courses, because the best investment you can make that no one can take from you is invest in yourself, and God bless.